So what is circadian biology? So circa means about, and dia means day in Latin. So about a day. So 24 hours, right? So circadian biology means about a day biology. And it's about the study of the human 24-hour circadian rhythm, okay? So it turns out all your hormones in your body, your blood sugar, your muscle growth, anything you could name of, yeah? Anything you could think of, your body temperature, all of it has a 24-hour rhythm. So the cortisol goes really high in the morning to wake us up, to give us the adrenaline, to give us the go, and then it drops low at night, and melatonin rises at night and then falls in the morning, okay? So it's like synergistic flows and rhythms, right? And these control everything. Even the amount of oxygen we have in our blood varies on a circadian rhythm. It just changes like this. The blood sugar, no matter what you eat, there's a fluctuation throughout the day. Your body temperature, there's a fluctuation throughout the day. No matter what you do, it's going to stick to that temperature. This is how life works. It's not just humans, it's all your bats, birds, bees, fucking whatever you want to think of, any animal out there, you name it, they've got the circadian rhythm. Bacteria, since ancient times, they were the first to have the circadian rhythm, and they did it because they were trying to adapt to the solar cycles of the sun, to adapt to the environment and to evolve and to improve themselves, okay? So this is how we adapt to our environment. This is why there's breeding times at certain times of year. This is why birds migrate on specific days every year. This is why eggs are laid at certain times. And this is why in factory farming, we put lights on for longer amounts of times to trigger growth and reproduction hormones in animals to make them continually give babies, so we can actually encourage their breeding patterns by controlling the amount of light they get. This is how sensitive it is. So what controls all those mammals and our biology, our circadian rhythm, is the body clock in the brain, okay? Now we know that there is a tract from the eyes that go to this body clock. So light that comes in through the eyes goes to the body clock and stimulates it. And this is the cue to give the body clock its signals to release its proteins and its electrical signals to the rest of the brain to govern it, okay? It's right near the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus controls pretty much all your hormones in your body, okay? So your stress hormones are regulated by this, your thyroid hormones are regulated by this, your appetite hormones, so this is why I said obesity is a big problem, a circadian problem, not a food problem, because the appetite hormones are in the hypothalamus and it's regulated by the circadian rhythm, okay? So as you can tell, it's a big deal. So what controls the body clock? Light. What type of light is the body clock most stimulated by? Turns out it's 400 to 500 nanometers of light. What the fuck's that, Sean? It's blue frequency light, okay? So we have a spectrum of light and there's billions of different frequencies, and we see a very small portion from about 400 to 700 nanometers, okay? A tiny, tiny portion. Just below that 400 down to 200 to 400 is UV light, okay? And above 700 is infrared light. So we don't see UV or infrared, but we see everything in the middle, which includes blue, green, orange, yellow, red, okay? It turns out the body clock has been adapted in the human to be most sensitive to 400 to 500 nanometers of light. Why would it do that? Because when blue is strongest in the sun, that means it's summertime, and when it's at weakest, it means it's wintertime. It's also, blue is never out in the evening and it's never out in the morning, okay? So we get a lot more red at sunrise and sunset, and then blue gradually starts to increase in the morning and then will fade off at the end of the day. What would happen if you made a light bulb which has a frequency of pure blue light and no green, no orange, no red, or very little amounts of those, no UV and no infrared, but just a huge amount of blue? What could that do to the body clock? Could that be a problem? Could staring at a screen, watching Netflix at 10 PM at night, when there's no blue outside because the sun's set, but there's a huge amount of blue coming from my screen, and my phone and my laptop and the street light and my bedroom light and my bathroom light, could that be a problem? Could that affect the body clock? Why do you think in the last 120 years since the invention of the light bulb, we've seen the first ever recorded incidence of dementia, the first ever recorded incidence of Crohn's disease, the first ever recorded incidence of rheumatoid arthritis, autism go from 1 in thousands in the 70s to 1 in every classroom, mental health rise at ridiculous rates, suicide, which no other animal, let me tell you, ever does in the wild, yet we think it's okay for people to be killing themselves in the thousands or on a daily basis, while we've got ridiculous rates of knife and gun crime. I mean, could this all possibly be linked by a major hormonal destruction via blue light frequencies that are present when they shouldn't be present? Could that explain why the last 120 years since electrifying the planet we've had such changes and de-evolution cognitively and physically? Like, why Indians who have been eating vegan, which is healthy apparently, for the last 5,000 years never had a problem. And I don't remember the English and the Portuguese when they conquered India coming across 70 million diabetics. Well, guess what? That's the figure in all those vegans in India right now. 70 million diabetics right now in 2019. And they're projected in the next few years to go up to 90 million diabetics. So where has that come from? What has changed in their environment? Because it ain't the food. They're still eating off the land. They're still eating vegetables all day long, and curry and dal and lentils, which everyone thinks is fucking great. Yet they've had a huge increase in diabetes in the last 20 years. What could it be that India has in their environment that's changed? Well, let me think. Maybe is it Bangalore that's the tech capital of Southeast Asia, or Chennai, which is the 5G capital of Asia? Maybe that could be something to do with it. Maybe it's not about food. Maybe it's about circadian biology. And maybe I need to get off my fucking phone and go outside for once in my life. Maybe that's all Sean is trying to tell us, that we just need to go outside and things would be a lot better. Maybe